All right, you're live.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody, for coming for the special O&A meeting for January 17th, 2023. If all councils present in person, votes are unanimous by consent. If any councilor present remotely, votes will be needed by roll call. If you are calling on the phone, you can press *9 to request to speak. If you're watching on a computer or device, there's a raise hand button that you can tap or press to request to speak. Please use either of these options to be recognized to speak. In attendance, we have Councilor Majota, Sherry White from the clerk committees, Joanne Sanos, our clerk. We have Jill Cahill, our CAO, and I believe that's all we have for attendance at this point.
Yes.
All righty. So there is going to be, if you are online for any of the motions, they're all going to be continued tonight for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go over that when we get to them as time comes in. At this point, we have our first new appointment. It's for the Archives Committee, Elaine McIsaac. Elaine, are you available?
I'm here.
How you doing, Elaine?
Good.
If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you'd like to be on the Archives Committee.
I was born and raised. I'm new to Zoom, so I can't see what's going on. I was born and raised in Gloucester on Friend Street, and I worked for the schools for many years. So I found that I can have the time to volunteer. They're very great people down there, and it's fascinating. The amount of documents, maps, everything that's down the archives is amazing. So I'm still learning. I'm 72, going to be 73, and I love doing it. So I like helping people, and that's why I'm doing it.
Excellent. Thank you, Elaine. I'd like to announce that we do have Councilor O'Hara on the call. Is there any questions or comments from the council? And we'll start with Councilor Majota.
No, I'd just like to say thank you. The Archives Committee is a fun committee, a lot of history involved in that. It's just great. So thank you for just getting involved.
Thank you.
Councilor O'Hara. Can you hear us, Councilor O'Hara? Jamie? All righty, so we have technical difficulties. Elaine, thank you very much for your dedication. The Archives Committee is going to be happy to have you. With that being said, Councilor Majota, do we have?
Yep. Yeah, committee recommendations. Move to recommend that the city council appoint Elaine McIsaac to the Archives Committee, term to expire 2/14/2025. And I so move.
Councilor O'Hara, you with us? All right, I'll second that. This will be by roll call vote. Councilor Majota?
Yes.
Councilor Nolan? Yes. And Councilor O'Hara, technical difficulties. Elaine, have you been sworn in by the clerk's
Not
office?
yet. No, they didn't have a card on me yet.
Okay. If you should be all set to go down there and take care of that now. That's not a problem. And we'll see you on next Tuesday night's meeting for the full council's recommendation.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you and have a great night.
You too.
Councilor, you hear us now? Jamie?
John,
Yes, so you can hear us now?
He's in.
Excellent. Thank you. So next up, we have for the Board of Health, we have Thor Akerley. Thor, are you available?
I am here.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I couldn't complain. If you just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and the Board of Health, that'd be excellent.
Absolutely. I am born and raised in Gloucester. I previously, about 5 years ago now, worked in the health department actually, as the Title V inspector and sanitarian for the city. Since then, I've worked at a civil engineering firm doing environmental consulting and Board of Health and septic system work and design and permitting. So a lot of my background is tied to environmental health and also public health, as well as focus on Title V and how that eventually ties into civil engineering. So I feel my background in those areas is really helpful for the Board of Health. Is generally, some members have a lot of health experience, and others maybe lack in that civil engineering or Title V area. So hoping my background in there is helpful to the board.
Excellent, thank you. Do you prefer Thor or Thorson?
Thor's fine.
Excellent, thank you. Is there any questions or comments from the members? And I'll start with Councilor Majota.
Thanks, so thank you for wanting to be part of the Board of Health. It's a very, very important part to make sure everyone's doing the job, and your background will fit in perfectly. That's it.
Excellent. Councilor O'Hara. Jamie, can you hear us?
Hello, Sean.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear Thorson fine. I can't hear you at all. So
Alrighty. Do you have any comments for Thor? It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, you can't hear.
You could check some.
Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, Thor, you could. That'd be excellent.
Councilor O'Hara, they were just asking if you had any questions for me about.
I appreciate you willing to step up to the Board of Health. We certainly need some energy and interest in the board. There's obviously tremendous issues within the city now, mainly being the creek, which we can't seem to get under control at Good Harbor. And I wish you well, and just stand tall and speak your piece, because the public depends on the Board of Health to protect them. And right now, there are a lot of people who are just shaking their heads, and we have an upcoming beach season, just a matter of a couple months. So I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor O'Hara, if you can hear me. Thor, your work with the Board of Health before was excellent. It's nice to have someone with Title V experience being on the actual committee, knowing what actually happens with groundwater tables, sewer runoff. I think that it's going to be an asset to us in the administration for you being here. Is there any questions from the administration or comments?
Thank you, Chair, Councilor. I just wanted to recognize also all the things that have been brought up. We're so thrilled that Thor raised his hand and volunteered for this position. It is desperately needed, learning a lot of additional information right now on the department, and the current sanitarian could really use the support of someone on the board who really knows this area in particular. So we're looking forward to it. And thank you so much for volunteering, Thor. I look forward to getting to know you.
Thank you.
And Counselor, if I may, I don't know if Sherry's in the room, but you may, if you have questions, maybe work them through Joanne to Jamie, since as the clerk, because Sherry might be in the room and using that same mic. It must be something to do with the mic. So just
Sure.
a recommendation.
Sure, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Jill. So do we have a motion?
Am I reading this? Sure. Okay. Committee recommendation: move to recommend that the city council appoint Thorson Akerly to the Board of Health, term to expire 2/14/26, and I so move.
Second, this will be by roll call vote. We'll start with Councilor Majota,
Yes.
and this is odd. Is this even legal, Joanne, to go through the area of you asking Jamie for his vote?
I can, yeah, because of his technical difficulties, yes.
Okay.
So, Councilor O'Hara, can you hear me?
I hear you fine. possibly Joanne, maybe the best thing for me to do is to call in.
Yeah, you can, because they're doing a roll call vote for Thorson Acrely. So,
Okay. Well, if they're doing a roll call for that purpose, I vote yes, and I will hang up and I will call in, just a matter of a minute.
okay,
Excellent, thank you. So that's 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Thor, sorry about the technical difficulties. Have you been sworn in?
I have not yet. I plan to go on Monday, it's coming Monday.
Excellent. If you do that, that'd be great. And then we'll see you on Tuesday night for full consideration of the council.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. And we'll take a 2-minute break for Jamie to transfer from Zoom to phone. I don't know what phone he's going to transfer to. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
Any sign, Jamie?
No, nothing yet.
All right, so we'll move on. The next up is Clean City Commission with Haley Philbrook. Is Haley available?
She's not here.
She's a new appointment too.
Yes.
All right.
Continue.
So we'll continue Haley for the same meeting as Rob.
Be the February 6th meeting,
Okay,
2023.
no problem. Then next up, we would have Christopher Griffith, who is actually with us. How you doing tonight, Chris?
Good, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. If you could just give us a little bit of background and why you want to be on the arts.
Absolutely, yeah, so my name is Chris Griffith, I'm the managing director at Gloucester Stage Company. I've lived in Gloucester for 5.5 years now. I came from Indiana, so I'm thoroughly enjoying my time here on the ocean. My
Thank you for
background,
Larry Bird.
yeah, you're welcome, that's our one gift. That and corn. Yeah, no, so it's been a fun 5.5 years. My career has been in the arts. My background is in business and in the arts industry. I find that arts and culture is a huge part of this town's heritage, and also I think this city's economic drive is a part of what the arts bring. I have a lot of experience with large grant funding, and I hope to apply that to the Arts Commission and bring funding in through the Arts Council, my time on that. And then also running Gloucester Stage, one of the largest cultural organizations in town that brings somewhere around 16,000 to 20,000 visitors into our space. Hopefully helps to provide some perspective on what the arts can do for our city. So
Excellent. Thank you very much, Chris. So we'll start with questions with Councilor Majota.
More comments and questions, I guess. Well, thanks for moving here. I mean, 5.5 years is a pretty good time to live there. So yeah, Gloucester is a great town. You said it, the Gloucester Theater, the arts is really much as the culture as fishing and hospitality. So it's just awesome, and welcome to town.
Excellent. Your work at the stage company has been excellent, and I hope you can bring the same enthusiasm to this committee, and we're lucky to have you. And I hope you enjoy the jewel that we have as
Yeah.
well. So, no sign of Council O'Hara?
I believe he just signed on. Council O'Hara, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Did you get any of the information on Christopher Griffith on the Committee for the Arts? Is there any comments for you or questions?
I did not hear him, but I've read his bio, and I, again, as always, appreciate Christopher willing to step up to help the city, and the city's looking forward to having his energy in the Committee for the Arts. Thank you, Christopher.
Excellent. Thank you, Council O'Hara. With that being said, Council Majota, do we have a motion?
Committee recommendation, move to recommend that the city council appoint Christopher Griffin, alternate member to the Committee for the Arts, term to expire 2/14/26. And so I move.
Second.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded. I vote in favor as well, so that's 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Chris, have you been sworn in yet?
Excuse me, Council Nolan, you didn't actually take the roll call.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry.
See, we're so excited.
Yeah.
He just knows. We're gonna
No,
go.
I'd like to comment, Council Nolan, that Council O'Hara, since he wasn't in attendance at this meeting, at this portion, he wasn't on the call, that he wouldn't be able to vote.
Not a problem. So I'll second the motion from Council Majota. And we'll do this by roll call. And we'll start with Council Majota.
Yes.
Council Nolan, yes, and Council O'Hara, technical difficulties, although he would have voted yes.
And I have not been sworn in yet, but I plan to go this week.
Excellent. And we'll see you on Tuesday on Zoom for the full council. Except
I expected a big presentation though, since you're the stage company. Like, I want lights and everything. I want big.
Fog machines,
Yeah.
yeah.
But if you can do the cornfields and make them out like in the baseball game.
That's right.
So,
Absolutely.
all right, so next up, we have the Committee for the Arts. We have David Calvo. How you doing tonight, Dave?
Pretty good.
I'm excited to get you on a city board here. This is something the city is going to benefit from tremendously. So if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and your interest in the board.
So I've been a wood carver and a sculptor my whole life. Has been my only profession. I came up to Gloucester on a contract to do something that was subcontract from Fisk Pipe Boarding Company. So I did some wood carving work up here. And then eventually, like 1 year later, I moved here. So that's in 1990. Through the years, I also teach wood carving up here too, so I bring a lot of people into the area. So over the course of the years, since 1990, I've seen a lot of changes in the arts, meaning I've seen them dwindle. And I've always kind of worked behind the scenes with a lot of things. And I think it's time for me to kind of step forward and put my voice into the arts to see if we can manage and keep that representation here. Because between real estate and between a lot of other things that are factors, there's a lot of artists that are kind of finding their way away from this area instead of towards it. And I think given the amount of interest that generates people to come to the Gloucester area, I would say a lot of that, there's a full support in terms of what the arts do, a solid contribution. So I think there has to be some support in a real way. And I think I can offer that a little bit. I know all the ins and outs of what it is to do to make a living at this. I know what people kind of need. And I also talk to a lot of people who, share their concerns with me.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave. So now we'll move on to councilor questions. We'll start with Councilor Majota.
Just very impressed. Definitely your whole life doing one particular thing. That's just amazing. And moving here in the early 90s has just been great. And you're very passionate and you want to keep the arts, keep it growing. And it's just awesome. I think you'd be a perfect member, and you're a product member to the arts, and you just seem like a great member to the community. So I'll just all positive. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Councilor Majota. Councilor O'Hara, do you have anything you'd like to add to this?
Yes, David, I truly appreciate you willing to step up, help the city. I've known David for an awful long time, and David is the epitome of an artist. He does tremendous work, hard work. He's a 7-day-a-week artist. His heart is in the city. His heart is in his gift that he has brought to the city and can be seen throughout the city in carvings on Main Street. We are so lucky to have David willing to step up to help the city. And David, I can't say enough. I sincerely appreciate you willingness to help. So I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Councilor Hara. Dave, I've known you going on pretty close to 8 years now, and everything about you in this committee just screams, let's work. There's no doubt in my mind that you're going to bring a lot of your ethics into it, and with Chris as well. It's a committee that's come leaps and bounds. The mayor has put a lot of time behind it. You're a great pick for it. It's awesome, and I'm very happy to support you on this tonight. And then also, he does have another love. He loves salsa dancing. So there's a little bit more to him as well. So with that being said, do we have a motion?
Committee recommendation, move to recommend that the city council appoint David Calvo to the Committee for the Arts, term to expire 2/14/26. So I move.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Now we'll go for a roll call vote. We'll start with Councilor Majota,
Yes.
Councilor O'Hara,
Yes.
Councilor Nolan, yes. Dave, thank you very much. Have you been sworn in? Okay, you could do that before next Tuesday, and we'll see you on next Tuesday on Zoom for the full consideration
So
of
that's
council.
just a Zoom meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. We can't accommodate the amount of people and still do hybrid,
Oh,
so,
okay.
but we're getting there.
So you don't have the salsa for us.
Yes, so, but thank you again.
I was gonna incorporate that into Chris's presentation.
It could be-
We might have to make an exception then. We'll figure something out.
We'll get ready for it.
All right, and I'd like to also announce that President Councilor Gilman has joined us as well. We are
Excuse
gonna,
me, Council Nolan, Council Worthley is on the call now as an attendee as well, so there's a quorum.
all right, so Councilor Worthley is also on the call. Thank you very much. Next up would be for the EDIC, that's Rob Gordon. That's gonna be continued to 2/6/23.
Yes.
Okay. Then we're gonna move into item number 2, which is CC 2022-004 Gilman Nolan Memhard, order that the city council audit the amended GCO to be consistent with the new resident parking regulations adopted by the city council on May 25th. This has been continued from 12/5/22. This is going to be continued again, I believe. Do you know which time frame you're looking at? We're looking for February.
Right now, there's one meeting in February, on February 6th, and the meeting after that is a holiday. So then the next regularly scheduled meeting is March 6th.
Right. Councilor Gilman, how far do you think you want to go with this? Do you want to try to wrap it up with Scott, you and myself in a month, or do you want to?
I have a suggestion.
Mhm.
Could we have in like an ad hoc, could we serve in that capacity and have a meeting that's posted? And we could put up on the screen the GCO and then all have our respective lists of our respective streets in the different wards. And then actually use it as a working session with the help from Sherry. And what that would mean is that instead of just having, we're not a quorum of any committee because we're in each one.
Right.
But I think it might be helpful if we could do that.
I think that we could do that. So scheduling would be the one thing that we'd have to work on. So I think it's safe to say to put this off for a month.
Sure.
And then we'll work on that
And
idea
we'll
as well.
post it and we'll do it at a
Perfect.
time where people want to sit in and listen, they can, but I would just be really, I talked briefly to Scott on my way here tonight, just because I want to get this done. And I think that would be really productive to have it up on the screen. the Word document with the red lines and we can kind of work it
Okay.
together, so.
So we'll continue the actual matter till March sixth, and in the meantime, schedule a working group with you, Councilman Hard and Councilor Nolan, is that?
That's okay, because I don't think we have the 31 days after it's passed.
Right, now,
I
so
don't
give us
wanna
a time
abut-
frame to get it to the summertime traffic.
Yeah, that's my biggest
Perfect.
concern.
March
So-
sixth,
Yep.
okay, March sixth, 2023.
All right, and then we have number 3, which is CC 2022-28, Worthley amend GCO Chapter 5, Building and Building Regulations. Article 4, construction of city-owned buildings by adding new section 5-62, continued from 12/5/22. And this is going to be continued as well. Council Worthy, would you like to chime in for a minute and let us know what the status is and why you're asking for the continuance?
I've given him, excuse me, I've given him permission to speak and have asked him to unmute, but he's still muted.
Okay. Then I didn't bring my glasses tonight, so my fault. No, we only got a few more things to read.
Okay.
All right, so this is going to be continued.
Till February sixth?
I believe so, because it's going to be after the Clean City Commission meets,
Okay,
before he brings it back.
the Clean Energy
Clean
Commission.
Energy, yeah, sorry. Matters 4, 5, and 6 are all going to be continued for the mayor's office and the administration and legal to meet with Mike Heel. And I'm thinking that with the holiday, that given the extra few weeks to put this out, to give them the time to the March 6 meeting would give them enough time to feel this in. Do you think it's too much time? I think it's enough for them to get it figured out.
I think that would be helpful. Do you
Okay.
mind just reading what those orders are?
I'm
So-
gonna, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
All right, so for 2023-002, Gilman Nolan amend 21 street sidewalks and other public places. Article 4, repair private ways, section 2183, temporary repair by adding new subsection D and C. Matter number 5.
Excuse me, Council,
Yes.
D and E.
D, yeah.
I know.
Maybe I should take the glasses.
Just wanted to clear.
Number 5 is 2023-003, Gilman Nolan amend GCO Chapter 21, street sidewalks and other public places. Article 4, repair of public ways, section 2181, permanent construction and or repair by adding, consistent with Massachusetts General Law, MGL, the city can not make permanent repairs to private roads using public funds.
And I just want to make clear, it's repair of private ways. You had stated public when you read it.
Oh, it is, yeah, because it is public before that.
I'm gonna read the last one.
Yeah, if you could. that'd be great, actually.
Number 6, CC 2023, sorry, CC number 2023-004, Gilman Nolan amend GCO Chapter 21, street sidewalks and other public places, Part 1, in general, section 21-1, prerequisites to acceptance of ways.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah, I'm usually last. So it's only been a year or so I forgot him tonight. So with that being said, and all the continuations, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Moved.
move.
Thank you.
I second. I got excited.
And this is my roll call vote. Council Majota,
Yes.
Council O'Hara,
Yes.
Council Nolan, yes. This meeting is adjourned. Everybody have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night.
Good night. I love being back in person.
Oh, there's so many
This is
messages.
just